Today on the RMC pre-show announcements, we have John Eppolito. But first, here's a reminder about this month's dinner. September's dinner is Monday the 14th, and our guest speaker is Adam Axel, Nevada's Attorney General. Doors will open at 5:30. At 6 or 6:10, we're going to start the pre-show, and that'll be live. John will be talking, and then we're going to also have a discussion on the caucus system in Nevada. Dinner will be served at 6:30, and our guest speaker, Attorney General Axel, will give the keynote speech at 7. Should be all over by 8 o'clock with answering questions, and you'll be out of there by 8:30, no later than 9. So without further ado, John Eppolito today is going to give a little presentation about protecting Nevada's children, and that's what he'll be talking about and asking your questions live at the pre-show at the Atlantis. By the way, this is at the Atlantis Casino in Reno, Nevada. John, tell us a little bit about protecting Nevada's children. I know it's a nonpartisan organization.
Yeah. Hi, Bill. Thanks for asking. We are a group our board consists of 6 members, 3 Democrats and 3 Republicans. And we are trying to educate Nevada parents about the new data mining scheme in Nevada and some other states. And Nevada is pretty bad, the way things are done and the way the data is collected, stored, and shared on our children.
Okay, so what grades are affected?
Well, it's actually the longer answer is it starts in preschool and goes through the workforce. The new data system is like a cradle to grave. We're specifically focusing on K-12.
Okay, to 12. Okay. So what is this data collecting system? What kind of data are they collecting in the Nevada schools?
Well, there's different things going on. One is the SANE system, and that's the state system, and they have a lot of things that they're collecting and sharing with the state. All the school districts are sharing data with the state every night. And the biggest thing on the SANE system that the state wants to know is discipline. There's 8 separate categories for discipline. They want to know everything about what's going on with these kids discipline-wise.
Oh, so are they collecting academics, grades, reporting, and it's a common...
That too, but discipline comes up the most.
So are there any other states that have similar programs to this?
Oh, yeah, that's part of the problem. There's 47 states that the federal government has spent about $1 billion to make sure 47 states all have the exact same database systems and feed data into the federal government and almost anybody else who asks.
So what are the negatives about this?
Well, that was part of it right there. Anything that happens with your kid starting in preschool now is tracked probably until death. That's the goal of this system. They want to know everything about every kid starting at a very young age. And that's why the federal government has put so much money into this.
So other than the state and the federal government, who actually are the agencies who have access to this information?
Well, in our state, we have a couple, the SBAC, the Smarter Balanced Assessment Consortium. And this is, by the way, one of the ways to protect your kids is to not have them take this SBAC test in the spring. And the SBAC, they also have to share any data that they can collect about your child with the federal government and almost anyone who asks. And in Nevada, that will be 3rd through 8th graders taking that SBAC test come spring.
Okay, I have kids who are in school in the Nevada school systems in 8th and 10th grade. So basically, it's a data collection system that's being kept by the federal government and the state?
No, the school districts feed the data to the state every night. And that's the data that's at the state level.
Okay.
And then the SBAC and others share it with the world. And we don't know the future yet for what the state of Nevada is going to do with it. But we know what the SBAC and entities like the American Institute for Research and the Data Recognition Corporation, we know some information about them, and they will also have access to your kids' data.
Are these only public schools?
As far as I know, it's any public school, and I'm not positive if it's all the public charters, but I think it is most of the public charter schools.
Okay. Now,
if not all.
Who would we call on the other side to find out more information? First of all, what is your contact information? Do you have a contact number?
Our contact information is we have a Facebook and a website. It's nevadansagainstcommoncore.com. and our Facebook page is Nevadans Against Common Core.
Okay. We'll put this up on the RMC site since you're one of the pre-show guest speakers. And then finally, on the other side, if you don't mind, is who would you contact on the school district side to find out?
Well, it's really the local school districts don't have much to say about any of this. I know some of the school board members around the state, and I think at least a couple of the superintendents are not necessarily on board. It's the State Department of Education, the Nevada State Department of Education. They're the ones on the other side. They will be adding 9 new employees and spending $4.5 million per year for the data management system. And that'll help them collect, store, and share our kids' data.
That's a lot of money. So who are the politicians who support or oppose this system?
What I spent a lot of time in Carson City, the ones that are for sure on our side are people like Don Gustafson, people like Brent Jones, people like Harvey Munford, people like Michelle Fiore, people like I'm not sure all of them, because one of the problems was we never really got to discuss the issue. There was a bill, SB 463, and in that bill there was language that said, and this bill started out by Don Gustafson, and then it got taken over, or whatever you say, by the Senate Education Committee. And in that bill, it defined the personally identifiable information of the children would belong to the parent and the child. But at the 11th hour, that bill got gutted with Amendment 934. And once that bill got gutted, first of all, I can't even find out anybody to tell me who gutted the bill. And second of all, the gutted version was voted into law. So that was part of the, what was voted on. So now our children's personally identifiable information in Nevada does not belong to us or our child. We don't know who it does belong to, but it doesn't belong to us.
So how do schools track disciplinary actions in the past?
Old-fashioned in a folder, a cum folder, year to year, and then there'd be a file, and then if the next year's teacher wanted it, they could have it. It mostly stayed within the district.
Okay. So if a child went from, let's say, here, Nevada, Reno, down to Las Vegas or Carson City, they wouldn't have any tracking. They have a clean slate, the kid.
I'm not positive, Bill. I don't know if the new school district could ask for it if they wanted. I'm really not
in
sure.
The old way, though. Now, if it's on one common database, it seems like everyone would have access.
Everybody in Nevada, yes. And then each child now, when they're in school, they have a separate number to identify that child. It's not a Social Security number. Right. So your children in school would have a number just to identify them. That's new. Then if they were to move to California or Kansas or somewhere else, they could keep track of your kids.
I was going to ask you, that was the next question. If you move to another state, what happens?
That number follows them till death. It'll be the same one they use for community college, for workforce, if there's unemployment ever, really? If there's ever a prison. My understanding is that one number is going to follow them the rest of their life. Most parents don't even know their kids have this.
I know there's some type of new school ID number. I took a test for the police department, and they first time ever I got assigned some kind of educational tracking number. It's a new system, and I don't know if that's the same one.
I'm not sure. The teachers, all the educators also have a number. At least the teachers. I don't know about the principals and counselors, but at least the teachers. Yeah,
everyone's changing over. The military now uses a separate ID, an old military ID like they did in World War II, as opposed to Social Security number. So that's interesting. Well, anyway, John, very interesting topics. This gives folks some time to think about questions. Maybe it'd really be nice to get someone from the school system, maybe who might be attending the dinner, the RMC Monday dinner, who could maybe talk a little bit pro or con about this same issue and join you if we can find somebody in time.
Nick Smith is starting to understand this. He's promised me he will be at our meetings. Protect Nevada Children will be having 2 meetings in September to help inform parents and school board members especially, and teachers about this new data mining scheme. We're going to have a meeting in Carson City on Thursday, September 24th, and a meeting in Reno on Wednesday, September 30th. 2 of the Washoe County school board members tell me they're going to come to the Reno meeting on Wednesday, September 30th.
Very good. So for the listener, who is Nick Smith?
Nick Smith is a trustee for the Washoe County School Board. He's one of the newer trustees.
Very good. Very good. Well, thank you, John. We look forward to your presentation at the pre-show. And we're also, Pat Shea, I understand, is going to be coming on. This hasn't been confirmed yet, to talk about the caucus system in Northern Nevada. Without further ado, just a reminder, see everyone on the Monday, the 14th. Come up before 6 o'clock if you want to catch the pre-show. And of course, dinner is served at 6:30. And Attorney General Axel will be speaking at 7.
Bill, can I add one thing?
Sure, go ahead.
To find out specific details, locations, dates, and times about our meetings, if you go to Nevadans Against Common Core, it's right at the top of the page. There's a link you can click on, and that'll show right where and when the meetings are.
Okay, and we'll put this on a blog on the RMC site and have a link to that also. Well, thank you, John.
Thank you, Bill.